We're back with more music from Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. This is Monoco. This is brought to us by Ishta as a Patreon request. So thank you so much. I appreciate the support. It's short. It's only 2.5 minutes. So let's listen all the way through. Then we'll go back a second time and talk about it. All right, here we go. Really? Clair Obscur? Right on, man. I did not think it'd be this kind of groove. Ooh, nice phrasing. All right, sax player. Never thought we'd get like a jazz jam. Ooh. Nice sax solo there. Very flowy. Keyboard player. Got some blues, jazz chops. All right. This is a huge surprise. Same material, change the key. Flow's really nice though. A little exploratory right here. Similar form. Oh, bass player, yeah. Wow. That sax soli lick is so legato. That's very flowy. Okay, obviously we have to go to the description to see if we have a section. So, all right, that's Yuri Villar on saxophone. So obviously just lots of recordings and making that flow. Just track it yourself. Kuznetsov on keyboards, double bass, Bruno, Migliari, and drums is Sérgio del Silva. Okay, I 1000% did not expect we get a straight up kind of jazz / blues jam. And Clair Obscur, that's amazing. I love it. That breakdown at the end almost felt freeform for a moment, but not quite. It still was kind of similar as far as like how the chords were flowing, but there was some stuff going on between drums and bass that was so stellar underneath the saxophone player. Let's go back and let's do it a second time. And what was the beginning? This wow, 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 wow. This intro, that really just took me out. I was like, whoa, we're going in very different spots considering everything that we've listened to previous to this. That's killer. And right away, you just know you're in kind of a bluesy jam coming out of the wow, 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 wow sound. This is great. Like, what a surprise. Saxophone. It was a little tremolo sneak in, and then immediately and then that groove melody. That's going to be the main component that we get the whole time because everyone can sing and then some kind of like so obviously that's going to be the part that glues on really well. Not to mention the quality of the rhythm section, meaning the bass player and the percussionist, the drum, the person on kit underneath playing really, really stellar grooves. Come on, man. That's outstanding. Now there's this fill coming up right here. Yeah, man. Like, so you just take, it's a similar property with establish your note, and we fall down from that. And then you put like a little blues lick to connect that all together, which makes sense. And it turns us all around and it's great. Now I know I praise the drummer and the bassist, but also the stuff that the keyboard player is filling in as far as how the comping is going. It's very, very, very tasty. This is what you would expect when you hear a quartet like that has like jazz chops and actually knows what's going on. So this is really nice. Lorien Testard giving us so much. I know that you all already know because you've played the game. My life is so busy right now. I've not played it since I talked about playing it last, so I've not ventured that far. I can guarantee you, I'd have been like, really? Set controller down? Just listen though. When I would have arrived to this, or maybe I heard it and I just don't remember. I'm not really sure. But anyway, the whole point here is to give praise. Okay, let's go back about 5 seconds and grab this lick again. Yeah, man. Great, we'll get to this little soli sound in a second. This is a great example of what it means to have a rhythm section, like 3 instruments that are gelling so well together as far as the groove is going. Drummer's pretty busy. The bass player is pretty busy, but excuse me, that groove is locked in so well. And the keyboard player has kind of the hard assignment to fill in the gaps and to make it tasty, but to still kind of outline, where the chords are, where the chord progression is going. All the while, the saxophone sound, I mean, the timbre of the saxophone obviously is going to sail on top of that anyway. But if you think about that, there's a lot of degree of space between where the saxophone voice is going to lay and where the textures of bass, keyboards, and drums are all going to kind of be together, especially when they're playing and filling out the progression. I'm not going to say like overly aggressive, but they're not like sitting back on it. Like we're not just like sitting back and playing a backbeat. Like this is, it's a pretty standard like moving and grooving kind of the way to fill this in. I'm going to go, I don't know, maybe back 10 seconds here and just. Yeah, that's really cool. Like it's kind of a 2-bar little sequence there with just a lot of quick moving notes that are descending, very, very flowy, very legato. All think smooth water over rocks. So you get one little connection note in the second bar, and then we kind of come back to that again. So if we just grab that lick again. 3, 4, 1. Yeah, like that does wonders for kind of selling the end of the phrasing there. We've come out of the saxophone being the main sound, the main timbre that's kind of sailing on top that we just talked about. And now we're going to get into this keyboard solo. That is legit. Like this is legit. It's a nice little blues jam. Just one more time in this transition. Let's get into the key solo. I couldn't even hit stop in it because it's so good. All right, so let's listen to the differences of the groove between. Actually, we should probably say let's listen to the similarities of the groove between the drummer and the bass player for when this keyboard player is playing the solo. Now, since the keyboard doesn't have the same type of the timbre is different, the way the instrument sounds is different, the way it cuts through is different. Naturally, the drummer and the bass player have to just lay off a little bit to allow there to be a little bit of breathing room. Yet there is some similarities in the groove that they're playing. It's just, we're just going to take a step back here to let that keyboard player shine through. And it's really, for me, now, not taking any attention away from the keyboard player. It's cool. It's a great solo. But you just got to give attention to the rhythm section underneath because for me, that's where the magic is. Because think about it this way. Let's say the keyboard player plays that wonderful solo, yet the rhythm section steps all over it. They play too loud. They play too many notes. They don't allow the soloist to breathe there. Something very different would be the result. So I'm going to go back to we're at 103. Let's go back to 45. Just listen down rhythm section. Hear the difference in the bass line versus when the saxophone was playing to where now there's so much more space and he's lining up more with the kick drum. The drummer is still busy-ish, but it's staying within the genre of what the groove that has already been kind of established. So it works really well. And since the keyboard player is so notey, it's not gonna syncopate a lot against that drum groove. It's gonna lay there and work really well. if the keyboard player was trying to play like bop, but up we, that might be something different. But since automatically they're filling in right from the get-go, it's going to work really well. Again. That bass though is wide open though. Obviously, we layer back in with saxophone now. Now, obviously, you can hear, anyone with ears can hear that the left-hand part of the keyboard and the bass player did a very similar groove when the saxophone player came in. But the thickness of the sound, once you add the sax back in, you're just kind of like, it's that road. The road gets more full with the amount of instruments that are on there. So it just feels a little bit, the texture is a little bit more dense. But we're getting close to this like kind of breakdown section where it's not free form, but it just has these just think about how everything's being presented right now, and they're about to change quite a bit. Oh, first we do this. We just change our tonal center, similar material. Literally same melodic groove on the sax. But now we're going to step out. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Tempo's the same. But the way we decorate it, very different. Yeah, man. It's so great. So why is it different? Well, the main reasons is we're outlining the chords. The progression feels the same. We're moving along the same tempo. None of that changed. It's just massive amount of attention in the keyboard player and the drummer. The energy has to shift and be dispersed differently. So the keyboard player is going to print those chords, play those arpeggios very, very differently. Drummer is a lot more exploratory with the way we're moving around the kit, and it allows the saxophone to be up top and just have a completely different listening experience. Now let's go back. Now that we talked about that, let's go back, and I want to put more of my ear on the bass player and see what's going on differently. We didn't really get that before. That is so similar outlook though, just arpeggiating, outlining where the chords are going. So a similar approach to what the keyboard player is doing, but just when you get the upright bass doing that, since it's such a round tone type of bass, because it's such a hollow, big body, you're going to kind of fill out the chord space differently, if that makes sense. All purposely, right? Like it's all done on purpose. But even though the things that are similar, tempo, chord progression, where we're going through this piece, those foundations are still there. This is a cool thing about musicians, and when the same players change the way they're approaching the instrument, it's just like having a conversation. You can talk about something, you can talk about the same topic, but use different vocabulary, speak at a different pace, even though the conversation's in the same pace, and just be very clever with your vocabulary. And that's why music is so cool when this kind of stuff happens. It's nice. It's really, really nice. That moment feels like Spain, Chicoria almost a little bit. Woo! That is a kill. Hold on. Sax player giving us life right there. Come on, man. Woo! Okay. And then the bass kind of mimics that back. This is another thing. It's good musicianship. These are things that you don't need to plan. We're not going to write this stuff out. We just have the changes in front, the chord changes in front of us. We're just playing. You're just listening. The bass player is listening. Listen to what the drummer's playing. Has an ear massively on the saxophone player. Saxophone player is emoting. They're playing within the rule sets of what you can play over these changes. They play something, the bass player hears it, they echo back in a way a bass player should and could and can echo back. Again, this is why musicians are cool. Let's grab this little look again. Your little double stop and woo! Listen to that. We repeat that phrase twice, and then we kind of almost don't get resolved, and then we're going to drop back into the sax solo feature again. God, I love this stuff so much. And then God, man. I didn't even notice the little light, probably like bamboo sticks there going on percussion underneath that. That's cool. And that's a great place where you can loop that. I'm assuming this is from a fight. Again, you know, I can't keep track of it all. But the point is just to appreciate within that 2.5 minutes, a lot of really cool musical ideas happened and they were embellished by good musicians doing things that good musicians do. So anyway, that's what I think about it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, please, and thank you. My name is DrumRollTony. Come watch a anime with me on the Patreon or catch me live on a Twitch stream. You can find a link for my socials down in the video description below. Please and thank you. Click the like button. Subscribe to the channel to check out the next video. YouTube thinks you want to watch one of these 2 videos next. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.